Yo, yo, said Ali and Julie sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G. Now, intelligence ain't just showing off that you can count to 20. In the US, intelligence is so important that there's got an organization specifically for it called the Central Intelligence Agency, or known here as the CNN. And that is why he has gone to visit and interview the head of the CNN. Realize. So, Mr. Stansfield, what does the CIA stand for?
Central Intelligence Agency.
So does it help if you was intelligent if you want to get in?
Yes. To get in, you need a college degree.
Ain't that a bit racialist, though, that you have to be intelligent?
Isn't that a bit?
Racialist, that you won't allow in thick people.
I don't think it's racialist. We can't use them if they're a bit stupid.
But ain't that unfair for those people because they'll feel bad inside if you won't allow them in there? Why do you laugh? Could I ever work for the CIA?
I would certainly think so. You seem intelligent.
Thank you very much. I've got 2 GCSEs. Right. Thank you. So let's talk about spies now, because the CIA is also got to do with spies, isn't it? Is it true that you have certain female spies that you put a camera in their punani? What uniform do the CIA spies wear?
They don't wear a uniform. They have to be as incognito as possible. Now look, you go over to a foreign country. Now, we have a CIA person goes to country X.
Aye.
And in that country, he finds Joe, who is willing to give us information.
Who is Joe?
Joe's a member of country X. He's a citizen of country X.
Is it not dangerous that you is saying his name, because this may be on the telly?
Well, I mean, if I had a real name here, I wouldn't be saying it.
They're saying his real name.
I'm sorry?
Is this his real name, Joe?
I'm just making this up.
Okay, all right. Okay. Let's talk about conspiracy theories. What about landing a man on the moon? Did it actually ever happen?
Of course it happened. I've actually shaken hands with the first man on the moon.
But how do we actually know that Louis Armstrong was actually stood on the moon?
It was Neil Armstrong.
Whatever.
How do we know? I don't know.
Has you ever seen the film JFK?
Well, I mean, my understanding of the movie, Oliver Stone's movie JFK, is that there was a conspiracy of one of my predecessors and the whole cabinet of the United States to murder the President of the United States, and it's absolutely nonsense.
That bloke who was in Dances with Wolves, he knows who did it. How come no one listened to
I don't know who this bloke is, or...
In the film...
Well, I mean, how does... What makes this film true? I mean, how do we...
It's a true story.
Well, how do you know it's a true story? You're questioning whether people landed on the moon, and now you're telling me you believe a movie.
For real.
How can you believe that movie if you don't believe what went on the moon?
Because they spent millions of pounds making that. It wouldn't have made it if it was...
They spent hundreds of millions of pounds going to the moon.
Aye. Thank you, Admiral Turner. Respect. Big up yourself. Flicky! Next, we went to check out the ex-chief constable of Essex Police. Luckily, him had no links with the Berkshire Constabulary, otherwise we would have been fried. What happens when you was arrested?
The person is informed that they have been arrested and the reason why they've been arrested.
Do most people, in your experience of having arrested them, is the first thing they say, "It wasn't me," in that voice? Yes. In that voice?
A large proportion of people will say, "It's not me." There was something which used to be called the verbals. That when you arrested someone, you said in court, and I said to the defendant, "I am arresting you for stealing this silver cup," and he said...
"It wasn't me."
No, he says, "Fair cut, Governor, I did it."
For real. Does the copper sometimes sing as well? Because I caught you red and it wasn't me.
And in fact, the police would then say, and he said, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. And I said, I caught you on the kitchen floor. Why do you think youths is turning into crime?
Well, I think it's as old as man himself as to why people turn to crime.
I mean, everyone know that it's against the law to be a criminal and it's well bad and everything, what? But you got to admit, it's more fun being a gangster, innit?
Well, I think I think it is at certain stage, but when you're languishing in prison, you begin to have second thoughts. But sooner or later it catches up with them. Sooner or later they languish in prison.
And they get bummed.
And they get and even if they succeed, they live a life on the Costa del Sol. They can't come back to this country.
Yeah, who cares about that?
That sort of thing.
But ain't the real reason why most people turn to crime is that they will get more punani, being a gangster?
Yes. I would say that apart from crimes of passion, of which we touched upon briefly, the predominant reason why people turn to crime is for the very reason to make more money.
And puni.
Yeah.
The puni. So shouldn't you send a very clear message to the youths out there? Yes, in the short term, you can get more puni, more muff. But in the long term, you will get bummed.
Yeah. I think that's a statement well worth making to young people.
What is the best undercover job?
Well, the one that obviously ends with a successful prosecution for a serious offence.
Because we saw this film called Beyond the Call of Duty, and it was about this police officer who had to go undercover and find out whether these ladies was prosies. You know what I was saying? And he actually had to bone them, and he actually did, because you could see his beast going in. That must be the best one, what?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be allowed in this country. And it has happened on many occasions when, certainly in the vice field, where officers have said, at that stage, I had to withdraw.
Well, he didn't withdraw. Well, he did once, and then once he blew his cover. How do you work out who did it?
By collecting evidence.
All right, check this then. A man is found dead in a pool of water with a backpack on. How did he die? Oh no, I forgot. There's a goose flying over. That is the clue.
Or you would say, I want a pathologist, first of all, to determine how that man died. Did he die from drowning, if he was lying in a pool of water?
Not bad.
Did he die from being struck over the head and fell into the pool of water? Or whatever. I'm not going to speculate as to what the goose...
What's the answer?
The relevance of that, I don't know.
I think it was the goose. I can't remember. Whatever. It wasn't me. All right, let's talk about DNA. What is NA?
Well, it's DNA,
yeah,
and it is
DNA.
It is your genetic fingerprint, if we're using that sort of terminology.
Is the NA worse than the AIDS?
No, it's not a disease. It's not something to be fearful of. It's just something that everybody has.
Is I got the NA?
Oh, yes.
How do you know I has caught the NA? Because we always wear a Connie, apart from that one time when she was so fit we couldn't wear it, because she was from this Apache Indian video.
It is not something which you contract from someone else or whatever. It is not in any way like AIDS. It is a genetic formula which you have from birth.
What else can you analyse the NA from?
Any living tissue.
Can you get it from jizz? Jizz.
You'll have to explain that.
You know, a man's, without being rude, man soldiers.
Yes.
How does the copper get to match it, does he actually have to toss the criminal off?
No, what would happen? No. When the suspect is arrested, the DNA can be taken from any body tissue.
So he doesn't have to knock one out in court?
No.
So, respect. So all the peeps out there, we just want to say, stop thinking of coppers as if there's a bunch of, excuse me French, pricks. I is here with Chief Constable Burrow, and he ain't a prick, is he?
Thank you for that.
Here is some more of me and that zoologist talking about animals and tin. Boom!